Cameron. I go by Cam the Stitcher here on Flosstube and Cam the Stitcher over on Instagram. This is a channel about cross stitch and crafting and all those types of things. Today I just have cross stitch. So that's all I'll be showing you, but hello, welcome. First of all, thank you. I hit 1,000 subscribers over the weekend, and I was visiting with a friend, and I was staying with my dad. So it was funny, I like checked and I was like, I'm at 999 subscribers, like what's happening? And yeah, so I just want to say thank you literally so much. Did not expect it to happen, and definitely did not expect it to happen this fast. I mean, this is Flosstube number 11, I believe. I started my channel at the end of November of 2022, and it is now April something, the middle of April. That's terrible. I don't know what day it is, but yeah. So I just want to say thank you so much. There will be a little giveaway here today for 1,000 subscribers, just as a thank you to you guys. Yeah, so I will talk about that later in the video, but I have so much. I have whips, I have a finish, I have some new starts and some stitchy kindness, and then like the smallest amount of haul. And it looks like my cat is coming up here to give me the spring to throw, so I might have to take care of that. You're gonna hear it. 1,000 subscriber special, you're gonna hear her play fetch. You ready? Oh, you're silent today. What are those silent meows? You ready? Okay, let's hope that stops. So yeah, let's just, I guess, get into it. I also want to congratulate Marjorie from Marjorie Made on 1,000 subscribers. We hit it within like a few days of each other, and I just want to say thank you to any of you that watched my last video and went and checked her out, because she's one of my good stitchy friends now, since I started this. And yeah, her channel is amazing. So if you have not checked out Marjorie, please go check her out. She's the best. Also, I got new glasses. So how are you feeling about it? The only answer is you're feeling good. So if you don't have that answer, then don't tell me. But yeah, it was time. I got a new prescription and everything. So I do miss my old glasses a lot already. And I'm like debating on whether to just repurchase those like big round black and clear frames, or if I should find like something similar. But I do love them. But this is a new shape for me. Like, it's a new vibe. So yeah, so that's happening. And again, spring was dropped off to be thrown. So let's just go ahead and start with my one finish. I cranked this out literally yesterday. There is a stitch along going on for these on the Snarky and Modern Facebook page. If you guys are a part of that, or if you're interested, I would go over to Facebook and join. It's Snarky and Modern cross stitch or embroidery. They do like both, I think. So they have like a black work yearly stitch along going on over there, but then they also do like these mini stitch alongs. Last year I joined the Halloween stitch along, and it's always free for the most part, I believe. So this one, oh no, I don't remember the company. I will put it here, but basically I went ahead and purchased, and you do not have to purchase, but I went ahead and purchased the bundle on Etsy. It is in my hand. It has to, this is, I'm not editing this out. It's not happening. But yes, I bought the bundle of like all the mini masterpieces. Also, if you are on TikTok, you may know these. I believe it's Lena Make Stuff or Leanna Make Stuff. I can't remember. But she like frames these little mini masterpieces that she finishes. She works for a framer, so you get to see her process. It's great. But anyway, so the first one that they are stitching in the month of April, you can get if you sign up, I believe it's like a Google form. If you sign up, they will send you emails and like to let you know which one they're stitching when the month comes up, and then you will have access to that pattern alone. So the first one we are stitching is Starry Night by Van Gogh. So you can get this pattern for free in the month of, I'm assuming it's a year-long stitch along, but I don't know if you can just get it in the month of April, or if you like start in May, you can probably go back and get month 1. But yeah, they're doing like a special collaboration with this Facebook group and the cross stitch company that makes these. So, but I went ahead and bought the bundle because I was like, what if I want to stitch more than just the ones that they've voted on to stitch throughout the year? So this is so cute. So I think, first of all, this was a start and finish. It took me like a couple of days. I stitched this on 18 count white Aida, and I think I want to like put them in little frames and make a little mini gallery wall. But then I was chatting with my Stitchy friends last night, and they were saying, I think it was Megan, the Seattle Stitcher, she mentioned they would be really cute as like fridge magnets. So I may like purchase some like little mini ornate frames for these, hopefully in like gold and like, you know, like very over the top. And then instead of having to like figure out how to hang them on the wall, just stick a huge magnet on it and put it on the fridge. I think that would be such a good idea. So yeah, so that was a start and finish. I'm at 9 finishes for the year, which is probably not as much as some people, but I'm proud of it, so I'll take it. So yeah, that was my one finish. I will throw the spring. What is this, the third time? And then I will get right into my whip. So if you watch my last video, I showed the Frosted Pumpkin Stitchery's Halloween wreath, and usually when I show it to you guys, it is like I've got that part done, but I don't know, I was just like, I guess stitching a little bit slower, or didn't have as much time, and so I wanted to show you I did finish that part, April's part. It is done, so I'm actually gonna, nothing is ironed today because I would have not had time to film. So that is April's part finished, and that green bat is everything. So yeah, the majority of the stitching for this one, besides all the gray background, was this broom and the little bat itself, but it's so cute, and I'll show it to you. There's the whole wreath. Guys, I'm like, it's getting so close to a finish. I think it's I can't remember if it's September or October we'll be like done, and they'll give us the finishing instructions. So yeah, only like a few more parts to go on this, so I'm excited. So yeah, and that is stitched with the kit fabric in DMC. The fabric is a 28 count. Ooh, I think it's like pewter by Picture This Plus or something. But yeah, if you go to their website and you're interested, it will definitely be there. It is the called for. So yeah, that was whip number 1. There we go. Whip number 2, I showed this last week as well, in my plan section of like, this is one of my whip go calls and I really want to finish it. So I actually put in a few days work on this. This is Thurza Priscilla Dawes by Hemlock and Rye Stitchery, aka Julie over at Kansas City Girl and Colorado World. Her birthday, Thurza's birthday, the sampler, I believe was April 7th. So I was stitching on her like at the beginning of April for like a solid few days, which if you have watched this channel or you know me, that's like rare for me. I like to switch around projects. I'll show you where it was last time. And then this is where I am this time. So as you can see, I got a lot of progress over in this section. So let me zoom in here. So I finished up this insane peacock that had so many color changes in it. Stitched all of this, stitched all of this, stitched these, I don't even know. They remind me of like old school, like 80s pizza shop dogs. I don't know. This little berry, this little pink peachy swan, and then all of this. So I started this, one of the iconic like parrots over here, and then I took this vine down. Julie was telling me that the bottom half does stitch quite a bit faster than the top half, which makes sense. So I'm excited for that. So yes, I am very much hoping I will finish this very soon, but it's so pretty. I love it. And that border is really easy to stitch. This is not like, sometimes borders, like I kind of get burnt out on them, but this is like, it's a really quick border stitch. It's not, it's nothing crazy. So I just kind of stitch the border as I go. I'm kind of like I'm not a strict page stitcher, but I feel like I kind of do. Like I stick to the page I'm working on. I get as much as I can done that's within my hoop on that page and then move on. But yeah. Ugh, it's so gorgeous. 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 Okay. That's it for her. And you will see her probably in my next Flosstube for sure. But yeah, I love stitching on her. Oh, I am stitching on her on just some 32 count white Zweigart linen. I wanted those colors to pop. If you are not familiar with Thurza Priscilla dolls, it is a reproduction sampler that has 2 colorways that Julie graciously offered us. So she charted it from the front, which is the more antiqued look, and then she charted it from the back where the colors had not seen sunlight and had not been altered as much. And so that version is very bright, and that's what I'm doing because duh. I will say the antiqued version, I've seen it stitched by a couple of creators on here, and it is gorgeous. Like, it's still so colorful, obviously, and like there are parts of it that are bright. Like, it's either way, it's a win with stitching Thurza. She is so like, I wish I could show you her face, but then I'd have to re-put this my phone up, so I don't want to do that. My next whip, this is the Haunted Carousel by the Witchy Stitcher. It was originally only on, it was a Patreon exclusive pattern. I joined her Patreon when she announced it, so I believe this might have been the first Patreon pattern she released, but I can't remember. But I believe it is up for sale on her Etsy and her website now. I suggest going to her website and purchasing the PDF if you're interested. But my goal for this, at first, I had a goal to finish 25% or get to 25% of this pattern. Well, I don't know why I thought it was such a small pattern. It's not. It's a lot of stitching. So I actually altered my goal to 15% because I was like, I think I started way below 10. So anyways, I'll show you where it was last time I showed it. And then this is where I got to. So I actually took this traveling when I went to Pennsylvania 2 weekends ago. This is what I stitched on in the car because it only has a few colors. And this is pretty easy. This is 32 count. Okay. This is 32 count. I think it was just like a Murano from like my local craft store that I dyed with Rit dye. I used pearl gray and turquoise, I want to say. And just using the call for DMC 2/2. So yeah, I got a lot of this done. I filled a lot of this in, started getting the bones of the other horse there. But yeah, I don't know. It's a lot more stitching than I thought it was, because there is like this, obviously the solid chunk of the carousel, and then there's this whole solid chunk on the bottom. My next, or my final whip, I should say, now I did not get this out in the month of March because other things came up. I think I started something on the day that I usually get this out, but this is a stitch along I'm doing with Megan from the Seattle Stitcher. And it's hashtag winter moth Sal. So if you're stitching on a pattern with a moth, please join in, share on Instagram, tag us. But we chose Kathy Barrick's white winter moth to stitch. Let me show you what that pattern looks like. So this is the pattern. Ooh. And we started this on the 13th of January. So my kind of tentative plan was to pull this out the 13th of every month. But I missed last month and I'm sorry, but I pulled it out this month. So yeah, so I worked on this and I'm stitching this on 40 count Fiberlicious Yummy Fibers Chai Love You. This was from their monthly subscription. It was last March's when I joined. Okay. So this is where I got to, and I'll show you where I was last time. Again, it's not going to be that much progress because I stitched on it for one day, but I'm feeling good about it. So last time I showed it to you, I had definitely this motif and this motif done and these little guys, and I had this started. So basically I went down, I wanted to hit the bottom of the pattern and stitch this little bird on a house. I started this motif and then I finished this guy out. So they're just little pops of gold in here, as you can see. And I didn't think I would really care for the pop of gold because like gold isn't my thing. Yellow, blues are not my thing either, but this is gorgeous. Like, I love this pattern. I love the colors. So yeah, so that was my last whip. And then I had 2 new starts. So my first new start, we started, I believe on the 13th. No, it couldn't have been the 13th. 14th? I can't remember. But basically, Megan wanted to do like, she wanted to do a start for her birthday slash Flosstube anniversary. Oh my gosh. And she picked she had this in her stash for a while, and she picked Rose Quaker, and I'll put it here, and it's by a company that I cannot pronounce. And so Megan, Bridgen, the museum stitcher, Marjorie from Marjorie Made, and I went ahead and purchased the pattern and kitted it up real quick and started. So I'm stitching this on 36 count Milk and Honey by Fiber on a Whim, and Marjorie called me out on her video already, but yes, I did do my own colors. I tried to stick with, I mostly stuck with like the feel of the original. The original is charted in about 16 DMC, and a lot of the DMCs are very close to each other. So I went ahead and pulled from my Color and Cotton overdyed stash because I want to be using these, like I get them every month and I want to use them. So I took it from 16 colors to about 11 colors, and I'm kind of just doing my own thing. I'm kind of following the pattern of like the shades of which motif you know, if it's dark, if it's like a dark pink, then I'm gonna go with maybe Dutch tulip on it, like whatever. So that's kind of what I'm doing. I will say some of the new colors, I think these were 2 of the new colors I got this month. Fortissimo and Soprano. They were all like music themed names. I think that was it. Yeah. And the rest are in stash now. But anyways, let me show you. Sorry. So this is my start. Yeah, this was a 1-day stitch. I don't know what was happening with my hands. I was fire fingers over here. I think it's probably, I'm stitching 1 strand over 2 on 36 count, which is not normal for me. I'm usually stitching on 40 count, but this is going by so fast. So yeah, so I think I stuck with like, what is this? Water Lily by Color and Cotton here. The Dutch Tulip is here. I stuck a green. I'm doing all of the letters in green. And then this is one of the browns for that motif. So if you look at the mock-up, you can see like I am sticking mostly with like the same vibe. And then this is just like the perfect neutral, Milk and Honey by Fiber on a Whim. It's like not too light, but not too dark. So everything's gonna pop on here, but it's still gonna have that really beautiful aged look. So anyways, so that was one of my new starts. I'm really happy with it. I'm excited to get more colors in here. I know that this is probably scaring some people, but I do think with the 1 strand over 36 count and just doing little pops of it, it will be really pretty with all the pinks and browns in there. So I don't know why I'm defending myself. I'm gonna do what I want, but that was my first new start. My second new start is, I talked about this last video in my plans. Lola Crow Cross Stitch has started another stitch along, mystery stitch along called Greenhouse Oddities Sal. If you've watched any of my videos before, you will know that I finished her Haunted Library stitch along last year, and that is framed right behind me. I stitched this on 28 count tea-dyed linen I did myself, and this was my first like major frame job that I did by myself. It's fine. I had barely any margins, I'm telling you, and I worked it out. I laced that thing. Anyways, it's gorgeous, it's beautiful, and so when she announced that she's gonna do another one, I was like, literally immediate. She released the pre-order, and I was like, click. Like, didn't need to see what the first part was. Like, I know that Lola Crow is very talented, and that was her first stitch along, mystery stitch along she ever did, and it delivered. So this is my very measly start on this. I'm stitching this on 32 count Timberwolf. I got this in a stitching like fabric swap from a Flosstube viewer that was so kind to send this to me. And I believe the dyer, I looked it up, is Seraphim. So if you're interested, Seraphim, I believe, is the dyer of this. So I started on the bottom, contrary to what many people are doing, which they're doing the smart thing, because what they did was they measured their fabric and measured what the middle starting point is, and they started at the top of that dome. But for some reason my brain could not compute, and I had already cut my fabric, and I got nervous about the whole situation. So I ended up starting at the bottom, and just I knew that it was gonna go down more in the middle. So if you're starting from the bottom, do not start at 2 inches. Go up like another inch if you want a 2-inch margin. If you want a 3-inch margin, then go up 4 inches with this if you're starting here, because it does go down, as you can see. So yep, so this is all I have done. I did also kind of want to start at the bottom because I want to get these heavy stitching areas done of the dirt, and then I also wanted to stitch these little creatures. So this is the frog. I have not backstitched its feet yet, but that will be coming soon. And then I kind of started up here, but yeah, this is actually stitching pretty fast. I am stitching this 2/2 with the called for DMC. And I think I hit like 11% last night, which is not too bad considering I will be able to get this done before the first part is released for sure. And oh, here are all my flosses. I wanted to tell you guys, if you have not kitted this up yet, or if you're interested in this pattern, the stitch along, especially if you stitched the Haunted Library, there are quite a bit flosses that overlap these two patterns. So I would definitely, if you still have that going or you just finished it, pull from that. But I went ahead and just used these like Amazon floss keepers here, and I just pulled from my master set of DMC for some of these. So like I know that these pinks are not going to be used a lot, so I just pulled literally one strand. And then with these grays and obviously 310 and any type of browns, I went ahead and got a full skein of. So yeah, that's what I'm doing. I'm gonna go ahead and get into haul real quick, because I don't have a lot. I got my monthly Fiber on a Whim fabric from Stitchy Box. They have a Fiber on a Whim club. I get 36 count because I wanted to build up my 36 count stash. I have a lot of 40 count, but I cannot read what that says, I'm gonna be honest. But all that matters is it's gorgeous. So you're not gonna be able to see it on camera, but this is a really beautiful lavender, like really light lavender color, with some subtle modeling. Yeah, you're not gonna be able to see that. Watch this. That did nothing. Okay. Anyways, in person, it's gorgeous. I will say, if you are familiar with Picture This Plus Sprite, it is very similar to that. I've been ordering these as they've come out from Abby at Top Knot Stitcher, and this, I was waiting on this one. It was so funny. She was so nice. She, in the, I'm sure, the craziness of market, she had missed this one, and I didn't think anything of it because I was like, it was a pre-order. Like, I was like, what? It'll get here eventually. But she refunded my shipping and sent it to me, which is very nice. So thank you, Abby. I'm very excited for this one. It's so cute. The next thing that I purchased, well, not really, it's a subscription. I got my June edition of Just Cross Stitch magazine. So I'm not going to do a whole flip through, but, well, first of all, the cover pattern is actually really cute. Like, it's not like me, but it is really cute. I love it. Like, I'd make like a tote bag out of that, you know? Great summer vibes. This is by Stitch Sprout, and it's so cute. First of all, the finishing on this, like, if I had a house and a garden, it's adorable. So yeah, this pattern alone is worth getting the magazine, but this one, I just about passed out. It's so cute, and it's so, like I've talked about this before, this is what summer feels like in the South for me. In a lot of places, I guess anywhere that is like rural, like this is what it feels like to me. So this is by Cozy Cabin Stitching. And this, oh my god, it's so cute. So this is by Allison Peterson of Cozy Cabin Stitching, and she's here on Flosstube, and she's one of my favorite Flosstubers. She started her channel this year, I believe. If you have not checked her out, please go check her out. I will have her linked below. But she designs as well, and her patterns are so cute. She just did the Earth Day collaboration, which I also got those. Go check out the Stitchers Collective on Instagram to see how to get access to, I believe, like 31 patterns, Earth Day patterns. But her Earth Day pattern was really cute. She did a palette inspired by like 1970s, like kind of kitchen vibes, like a turquoise and a gold and all those things. So cute. But this is literally so cute. She stitched this, I believe, on just some like navy blue Aida, can't remember, maybe 14 count or something. And yep, 14 count navy blue Aida. And so I immediately was like, well, let me pull fabric. So I have this 32 count linen Midnight Visitor, and it's, I think, perfect. It is very like purpley blue, dark. And so I definitely want to stitch this on this because that lunar moth is everything. These little fireflies, like, I do want to quickly mention, I guess, plans, sort of. So first of all, in May, I don't know if it's going to be May 1st. I think so. I think May 1st, we are starting, some of us are starting a Carolyn Manning pattern. And I think we're going to do hashtag Manning May. I have always looked at Carolyn Manning's designs and been like, ooh, like I want to start one of those. I know it would be so pretty, like framed and put on the wall, but some of my friends felt the same, and so they were like, hey, let's do it. Marjorie was definitely a big proponent of it, so maybe you can use the hashtag Marjorie made me, that Britches Get Stitches started. I will link Britches Get Stitches down below. I think it was her last video. She was, or maybe the video before that, she was talking about Marjorie and how she inspires us, and she's going to start using the hashtag Marjorie made me. So yeah, so we are starting that, I believe, May 1st. I am stitching the mini. It's like, I think it's 60 by 60 stitches. It's an April, I think they must have done like a monthly stitch along, and this is the April tent maker. So I'll be stitching that probably just on some 18 count Aida. I might dye it just to have like some interest, and not just have white Aida. I know it's full coverage, but I think I've seen some people stitching Carolyn Manning designs on colored Aida, and it does add a little bit of interest to the stitch. So yeah, because you can kind of see it peeking through, whatever. Anyways, so that's what I'm doing. And then a couple of videos ago, I showed the Vanity Sampler by Hello from Liz Matthews. Let me take it out here. And I talked about, like, hey, I'm gonna do I did a color conversion because the original colorway is really, really gorgeous. She stuck, that's the antique, and she did a really great job of translating that through NPIs and DMCs. But I just wanted to change it up a little bit. So I did like a Victorian goth conversion, and I showed these colors when I talked about it. I've already done the DMC conversion. Some of you have reached out and asked for the conversion, and I gladly sent that on. If you are interested, you can DM me on Instagram at camthestitcher, or you can email me at camthestitcher at gmail.com. So yes, and I will send a picture of my conversion along, which is literally just the back of this chart where I penciled in the DMC there. It's kind of hard to read on camera, but anyways, so we are starting this in May. I wanted to wait for my Stitchy friends to be able to get the PDF version of this, and all of you can now also get the PDF version of this if you prefer. And yeah, so I'm looking forward to starting this. We're going to start this on May 20th. And that's a Saturday, yes. And I think we're going to use the hashtag Goth Vanity Sampler Sal. So if you're interested, if you're stitching this and if you want to stitch it in my colorway, do that. If you want to stitch it in the original colorway, maybe we can use the hashtag, just hashtag Vanity Sampler Sal. So we'll use both. I don't know if anybody's taken that already. I should probably check. I guess I'll let you guys know. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited. So I'm stitching this on a little bit of a darker fabric. This is Brown Sugar by Fiber on a Whim, 36 count. I'm on a 36 count kick, so I'm like very much looking forward to starting this. So yeah, this is gorgeous. And then here's the DMC. And I will actually show you a mock-up that was so graciously done by Bridget, the museum stitcher. So she went ahead and bought the PDF and she put it into the app Markup RX, which I don't talk about enough on my channel, and everyone credits me for showing them how to use it. But she did a mock-up in there and put in my DMCs, and I will put a picture of the original mock-up and then my mock-up. So yeah, so if that gives you a better idea of like what you want to do, then yeah, there you go. The mock-up is very helpful. I honestly was like, I just was trusting in myself that I like did a decent job of doing a color conversion, but I think it's going to be so pretty. So yeah. So let's get into some stitchy kindness. First, I want to thank, I believe her name, yes, Rachel. I want to thank Rachel. She was the individual that I did the fabric swap with, and she sent me a really nice card after the fact, and it was just really, really sweet. And so I want to thank you, Rachel. She included a picture of the pattern that she stitched on the fabric that I sent to her, and so that was really, really nice. And so Rachel, I am using the fabric that you sent me for the greenhouse oddity sow. I'm very excited about it. I think it's perfect, so that worked. So yeah, so thank you, Rachel. And then my friend Alexis from Alexis_my amazing world, she sent me a project bag. And yes, it's so pretty. It's so pretty and big and beautiful, and there is a glittery like gummy bear situation happening. Ugh, I'm so excited. I can't wait to fill this with projects. I don't know why I just did that. Anyways, it's really, really cute. And so I want to thank you, Alexis, again, for this beautiful project bag, and also the card that you sent. Yay. Yay. And then my sister went down to my hometown on Easter weekend. I was in Pennsylvania, and she went to my hometown and hung out with some family. And one of my family members, my aunt, she has gotten back into cross stitching, or really has gotten into cross stitching, and she has been a big supporter of my channel and over on Instagram. And so she sent over some goodies via my sister, and she sent some Peeps and candy and things that I very much appreciate. We are a Peeps family, if you could not tell. And she also sent me this very, very cute project bag that she made. So it says avocado kitty on toast, please. And it's so cute. So she made 2 of these, and my sister got one and I got one. So cute. And this is also really big, which is great. I make mine smaller. I should probably think about like measurements here. Okay, Alexis's is a little bit bigger, but this is like such a perfect size. And it's really nice and very, very cute. So I want to thank my aunt for that. Thank you so much. And then I thought you guys might be interested in this because it's crafty, not cross stitch, but this box was in my bag of goodies, and my sister handed it to me and she goes, "It's an egg." And I was like, oh, okay, sure. So my grandmother, my father's mother, she has made these eggs our whole life. I don't know, like for many years. We have Christmas ornaments made out of these eggs. We have Easter eggs made out of these eggs. And let me just show you this one. I do have I have a box of mini ones somewhere, and then I have a whole bowl of Easter ones. I live in a 1-bedroom apartment though, and did not get them out this year because I have a cat and I don't have anywhere to put them where they're not going to be messed with at the moment. And these are very fragile. So this is the egg. This one's really pretty. So this is a real egg. Obviously it was drained of its insides, and I don't know I don't know the science behind this, don't know what she does with this. This one's more of like a paper crafty one. Some of the Christmas ornaments that we have are actually, there's a hole, like a big hole cut into the egg, and then there's a little, like there's scenery within the egg, like a miniature scene, and they're very over the top and dramatic. And yes, so I have a collection of these. This will probably eventually will sit in my Easter collection of them in a bowl that I have, because it kind of matches those. But yeah, so I don't know if any of your relatives or you yourself are familiar with this type of craft. Please sound off in the comments. Wanted to show that. That is all the Stitchy kindness, and then let's do the giveaway, and then we will do books and we'll be out of here. I only have a few books, so that'll be quick. But the first giveaway I wanted to do, I only have 2 giveaways, but you know, actually I don't know why I'm saying it like that. I have 2 giveaways. So the first is my Birds of a Feather Beware of Cat pattern. So I've already stitched this, finished this pattern. This is in pretty good condition. These are still in print, I believe. You can get them on 123 Stitch, and you can also get them on Top Knot Stitcher as well. She just got these. So, but if you are interested in winning this pattern, please put the word beware. I'm not gonna make it simple. Please put the word beware in your comment. I will use YouTube's random comment picker, and I will, yes, I will give this away to a person that has the word beware in their comment. You have to be 18 or older, so that you can provide your address to me. You cannot say the word giveaway, like anything like that in your comment. What else? What are the other rules? Yeah, I don't know. I think that's pretty much it. Yeah, if you use the word giveaway or anything like that, I'll just delete your comment, because we don't want scammers in these comments, guys. So yeah, so if you want to win this, again, just use the word beware in your comment, and I will send this through to you. Okay. And then my next giveaway, I'm going to give away this Fiberlicious Yummy Fiber 40 count linen in the colorway Skyfall. And don't worry, I'll take it out of the sleeve. So this, I actually got duplicate of this. This was, I believe, their December fabric of the month. So it's got some splotches of pink and maybe like a little bit of green going on, but it's mainly blue, a very pretty deep bluey purple. And again, this is a 40 count linen. So if you are, if you like stitching on 40 count, if you're interested in this fabric and you want to win it, I want you to use the word sky. Use the word sky to win this Fiberlicious Yummy Fibers fabric. And I'm gonna also throw in, this is a hand-dyed variegated floss by the Stitchy Ferret. It doesn't have a name or anything. It was just like something I got in an order once, and I realized I'm never gonna use this. So I want to pass this on to someone that's into blues. And I will give you this little floss drop on there. So yeah, so if you're interested in winning this, again, just use the word sky. I'm very happy and very thankful for all of the subscribers, every comment that I get, every DM. Yeah, so if you are interested in supporting this channel, feel free to like and subscribe, comment down below, follow me over on Instagram, and you can also, linked below is my Buy Me a Coffee link. If you're interested, all of the proceeds from Buy Me a Coffee goes towards giveaways and anything for this channel. So yeah, and also if you are interested in following me on Goodreads, I also have that down below. And that segues right into books. So if you are here for books, stay. If not, you will not miss any other Stitchy things. That is it. So I will see you guys next time. Okay, so for books, I'm gonna make this quick. So I only read 3 books, and in reality, I only read 2, because I'll talk about the first one that I didn't really finish. This is called The Death of Jane Lawrence. I started out really liking this. It's like period piece. She is looking for a husband because she is like a ward of this other couple, like not even her parents. And at the time when you're a woman, you have really you have limited choices. You don't have a lot of agency. And so she was like, I need to find a husband so that I can just literally survive. So she kind of had a list of people she was willing to ask in the area. And so she asked this doctor, Dr. Lawrence, hey, like, would you marry me? And he was like, huh? He was like, no. And she was like, okay, but like, it's not what you think. Because they just met, and she's like, it's not what you think. This is like a business deal for me. Like, you get a wife, and that like makes you look better in society, and I will help with your books, like your accounting for your doctor's office, and I will help around the house and the doctor's office. I'll work with you. You'll basically be getting a new employee. And she, I'm assuming, didn't get paid. And then like I get stability and a place in society, and I'm not going to be on the streets, essentially. And so, he agrees to it reluctantly, but he sets out a rule. He says, you have to stay at the office, his like doctor's office in town, and I have to stay in my really weird, house on a hill that's like dilapidated, like old mansion. And she's like, why? But I guess that's fine. And he's like, sorry, but I have to stay there every night, and you have to stay here. You cannot stay with me. And so she like agrees, and they get married. And then obviously circumstances happen where she has to stay at the house. She gets stuck there, and weird things start happening, and she starts seeing things and hearing things, and you basically come to find out that this doctor has some secrets. And I'm not going to get too much into it, but basically like it's like supernatural magic is involved, things like that. And I was kind of into it, and then it kept going and going and going and going and going. It was just a really long book, and I feel like it got so complicated by the end that I was really over it, and I ended up fast forwarding. I scrolled through that audiobook and I fast forwarded to the end, and the ending was extremely dumb and unsatisfying. And this is all my opinion fully. You may really enjoy this book. Maybe I just did not have the patience for it. I just wasn't into it. And yeah, so I like finished it, but I didn't. I fast forwarded through a lot of the junk. So anyways, that's the first book. The second book that I read was Daisy Jones and the Six. I had this on my hold list, and I got one of those like early, basically I could listen to it a lot. I guess someone returned it early or something. I got to skip the line, borrow, that's what it's called. And so I've been wanting to read this because, first of all, I love the 70s. Like, I love that whole vibe. I love the fashion, the music, the culture, like the history of it, all of that. So I was like, okay, I definitely want to read this. So I started reading it, and it's so good. Everything everyone has ever said about it, with positive reviews, it's correct. So basically it's written like a music documentary. So it's interview style. So you're basically, the author of the book is interviewing these musicians and producers that were involved in this band. It is apparently heavily influenced by Fleetwood Mac. Duh. So if you know anything about Fleetwood Mac, Stevie Nicks, that whole thing, it kind of makes sense. It's different. It's not following Stevie Nicks in her exact story in life, but it definitely is heavily influenced. But I loved it. So basically, like, it starts out, there's Billy, who is the main band member of the Six, and he kind of starts his band with his brother and like a couple of kids, and then they end up growing into the Six. And Daisy Jones is on her own music journey. You know, producer discovers her and is like, hey, like, you should really like work with me, and she's kind of reluctant and all these things because obviously she's a woman in the music industry and she's been burned before. So it was really good. Obviously, Daisy Jones ends up working with the Six, and they make an album together. And so the main part of the book is kind of going through the making of the album, what happened after, and all of the turmoil and love and hate and other relationships that get involved and things like that. And so it's really good. So I finished that, 5 stars for sure. And I started watching the show on Amazon Prime with my partner. And he listened to most of the book with me, actually, because we were driving to my hometown this past weekend. And so he listened to it with me. So now we're watching the show, and we've only watched 2 episodes. I'm trying to savor it. Last book. This is The Cabin at the End of the World by, I think it's like Paul Tremblay. But I saw there's a M. Night Shyamalan, I cannot say that word, an M. Night film that he's doing based off of this book. I believe it might be called something like Knock at the Cabin or something like that. And when we saw the trailer, my partner Connor, he was like, oh my gosh, yes, like, I want to see that. I was like, oh, same, whatever. Well, I saw that it was available on the Libby app, and it did not have a long line of people waiting for it. So I put it on hold and got that. And I finished it last night. And basically it's like a isolated incident type of story where the story really only takes place over maybe like 48 hours or something like that. Maybe less. And they are this couple, I think Eric and Andrew, they, and their daughter, Wynn, they are staying at this cabin in the middle of nowhere, New Hampshire. And Wynn is outside playing with some grasshoppers and putting them in jars with holes on the top and naming each of these grasshoppers. And this very large man named Leonard comes up to her, comes down the drive by himself and asks her what she's doing. And she knows that she's not supposed to talk to strangers, but she's like maybe this is fine. Like, he just wants to know about my grasshoppers. Then she starts to kind of get freaked out. And she's like, maybe I shouldn't be talking to this man. Lo and behold, the Wynn gets back into the house with her fathers and tells them there's this man outside. Like, I don't know who he is. He keeps wanting to talk to me. And then you see 3 more people come down the drive with wooden tools, weapons, things. And so they end up knocking on the door and asking, like, hey, can you let us in? We have to talk to you. And of course, Eric and Andrew are like, leave us alone. They think these people are like just maybe like religious missionaries that are trying to spread the word of God. But they are pretty insistent and try to explain to them through the door you know, we have to talk to you, like the world depends on it. And eventually they get into the house and tie Andrew and Eric up and explain to them that they have to sacrifice, they have to choose willingly to sacrifice one of them. And then the others, whoever they choose, the others have to then kill them. And that is the only thing that's going to save the world from an apocalypse. So that's the premise. I'm not giving really anything away. If you watch the trailer of the movie, that's they tell you the same thing. So basically you're in this cabin with this family and you are trying to figure out if these people are crazy or if they really have been seeing like these visions, and how it correlates with like what's going on in the world and what's happening on the news. They keep turning the TV on and like you can't figure out, is it coincidence? Did they know about it beforehand? Like, it is crazy pants. And the ending, if you don't like endings that kind of leave it up to the reader, then don't read this book. It will just piss you off. But I don't mind endings like that because I think that's part of the whole gimmick, is like what is real and what is fake, and how in this like crazy whirlwind experience like that is so traumatizing and violent and horrible, like how do you know what's real? Like everyone at this point, you know, even the victims in the situation start to go crazy. They start to feel crazy. And anyways, it was a really, really good book. I did enjoy it. But again, if you don't like unsatisfying endings, don't watch it or don't read it. But I actually was just talking to my sister and I told her I'd finished that. And she said that the movie is completely different. So I don't know. I haven't watched it yet. I want to go see it. But I'm okay if the ending's different, like whatever, like then I've consumed two different kind of stories. I'm cool with that, but yeah, I'm interested to see how that is. So that was the last book, and that was it for Flosstube number 11. And that, yeah, that's all. Thank you again for 1,000 subscribers. Thank you if you stayed listening through book talk. I know some of you come to this channel partly for that, and I was nervous to start doing book talk, but I've really enjoyed it. It's gotten me like a lot back into reading. I'm kind of going on my comfort zone and reading lots of things I probably would not have. So yeah, so that is it. I will sign off here and I will see you in 2 weeks where I will announce those giveaway winners. So yeah, bye. Hello. Hi. Are you being such a sweet baby? No. No, I'm not. Oh my gosh. Let's see if we can recreate my first thumbnail. She's not having it. Oh my God. Hello? Can you cooperate with the camera? Her face, she's so over it. She has had enough. She wanted to say hi again, I think. Not really. Oh, now she's settling in. If there's one thing this girl loves, it is to be held and to lay on a lap, so. Hi. No, you're too antsy. Are you antsy? Oh my goodness. It's my little baby. See, she's so chill. Low-key, she might fall asleep. You can fall asleep. It's disgusting. It's so gross. You're nasty. You're so cute, it's disgusting. As my dad would say, let's put her in the crock pot. You wanna be put in the crock pot?